to the Hockey Show, and today we're talking about the Stanley Cup Finals, where the Edmonton Oilers, the team from Canada, the team from Alberta with the best tandem of players in the world, with the home of McJesus, where Canada will be watching and cheering on their Canadian boys, and some Germans and whatever, going up against the Florida Panthers, the team representing Florida for the 5th time in a row that state of hockey will be represented in the Stanley Cup Finals, and this is gonna be a fun series. So the Oilers, obviously the superstar, offensive team. That is what they bring to the table here. They are the best offensive team, probably in all of the playoffs. Actually, I don't know if I would say anyone else would be close to them. But they definitely have faults in other areas. But the best offensive team, housing, first of all, the first and best goal scorer of the playoffs, Zach Hyman. He has just been a random cheat code, out of nowhere this playoffs. He's not like McDavid, where he's just, zooming through everybody. He's not just, driving through the net, just getting right there. He just finds ways to score. He just finds his way to the front of the net, just chips it in, through Ottinger. He just finds ways to score goals, and it's unreal. His IQ, and I know people can make fun of him for the type of goals he scores or whatnot, but guess what? He gets the job done, so it doesn't even matter. Behind him in second place of goals, Leon Draisaitl, of course, Connor McDavid, McJesus himself, 97 in first place of the playoffs, 31 points so far. And he is on a heater this playoffs. Of course, Evan Bouchard, the defenseman who's breaking all these kinds of defenseman records, with 27 points, third in the Stanley Cup playoffs so far. But on the other side, the team representing the USA, the Florida Panthers, led by Matthew Tkachuk, 19 points. That's first on the team. Sasha Barkov, the menace on the ice. Lynn, second place, 18 points. Verhaeghe and Reinhart lead in the goals categories. Now, to get to this point of the Stanley Cup Finals, who did these two amazing teams beat? Of course, the Oilers starting off once again, as always, against the LA Kings in these playoffs. 4-1 was that series. Easy for them. Wasn't even close to being a match. The Oilers owned their ass, so it doesn't even matter. Then the Vancouver Canucks were some of the faults of the Edmonton Oilers showed through in that series. Multiple comeback wins, all comeback wins for the Vancouver Canucks, but the Edmonton Oilers able to close the door before things got too bad, and they lose, and they win that one 4-3 in Game 7. And then, of course, just recently, the Dallas Stars, again, it's them. The team wearing victory green didn't take home the victory as they lose 4-2, and the Edmonton Oilers suffocated the life out of them, and they move on. The Florida Panthers, what a resume they have. Tampa Bay, 4-1. They poked the bear, and then they broke the bear of the Boston Bruins, 4-2, and then the unstoppable, the supposed team of destiny, the New York Rangers, beating them 4-2, and they have yet to go the distance in a series. And I would even say that some of them, they definitely could have won them in a sweep, but here we are. Doesn't matter. They are here. So this is going to be a fun series because Leon and McDavid, first time in the finals, they're going to be putting their all on the ice. They're going to be going 130% on the ice. They're going to leave everything out there to bring home that cup for them for the first time. And the Florida Panthers, they're always a fun team to watch. They have the heart, they have the experience, they have the grit, they have the want, they fight for wins, they do whatever it takes to win. They're always a fun team to watch. So no matter what, this is going to be a high-octane series for these two teams. And right now, the super offense versus the super defense of these two teams is going to be incredible. Matthew Tkachuk said it in against the New York Rangers that they had to really learn a more defensive style of play, and you saw it. They really did everything to just kind of give no inch to the Rangers, and they were just full on forechecking over and over again, and it was so unreal. Because this team, the way they just forecheck is unreal for the Florida Panthers. The puck always for the New York Rangers, which are a very fast team, a lot of talent and skill out there. They just easily, and this goes for the Bruins too. The Bruins, the Lightning, the Rangers. All these teams with very high talented offenses, kind of like the Edmonton Oilers, that they're able to just shut down all these plays and suffocate them in their zone. The Panthers are the best team on the forecheck, easily. They just easily always make them make mistakes, keep the puck trapped in the offensive zone, and they just keep cycling till Forsling gets the puck on his stick. He just gets a good spot, rips it in the back of the net, or they set up like Bennett to just kind of find the dirty goal and get it in. They are so good in all parts of the ice, and it's the lines. They keep going down the lines of Barkov, Tkachuk. You got Reinhart, Verhaeghe. You got Tarasenko, who seems to be coming alive finally. Luosterainen's being incredible. Lundell as well. And then you just keep going down the lineup. Rodriguez is such a talent. And the offense, they can just keep rolling the lines over and over. They can press in the offensive zone. And then the defense, and this is all to say to me, everything seems to stack up in my head for this to be Florida series. The defense and Skinner of the Edmonton Oilers, the goaltending and defense is easily, without a doubt, without even a debate, I think, is the weakest defense they're going to play against. And I know there is a huge argument to make for the Oilers. They gave no inch to the LA Kings. Then against the Canucks is where things get iffy, because it's the first time that they really were challenged in the offensive zone or their defensive zone, and they gave up quite a lot between Skinner and the defense. And then you have the Dallas Stars, who looked bad all over. And it is a question mark, because the Dallas Stars, their offense, right? They were able to beat the Avalanche, be able to beat the Vegas Golden Knights. And the thing about it is, all those series, especially towards the end of that one against Dallas, the Edmonton Oilers have been very good at suffocating, keeping guys, like, just giving no inch to them. They go along the boards, they hit them in the corner, they swat away centering pucks. Like, they don't let the Stars create plays. But then on the other hand, the times they do are super dangerous. And to me, Stuart Skinner, no matter if you want to call me a skeptic, you want to call me a hater, whatever, I just think I'm a honest critic, is that Stuart Skinner got lucky as hell in that series. Because there were so many times Wyatt Johnston, like there's that one specific time where Eddie Olczyk would not stop just tugging away at the Edmonton Oilers, going like, please believe me, that Stuart Skinner made this unbelievable save against Johnston after a nice centering pass where he rips it in the slot. But if Skinner didn't move, and he didn't move that much, the puck was going into Skinner, and it did. That first game against the Stars wouldn't shoot anywhere but the center of Skinner's chest. And they just kept doing it over and over in that series, and Stu Skinner got very lucky in that series to me. The Florida Panthers have beaten Vasilevsky, Jeremy Swayman, and Igor Shesterkin. Three of the most touted best goaltenders in the world. And at this point, probably the best in the world between Swayman and Shesterkin. They figured out how to kill Swayman. And Shesterkin, they figured out just enough to get past him. But they beat them. Stuart Skinner is nowhere compared to those people. And if anyone wants to, like, comment that below, like, Skinner's great, you don't get it. They are not. He is not on that level of them. Then Bobrovsky beats them in net as well. But that's a whole other story. But to me, they can beat the defense of the Edmonton Oilers. Darnell Nurse, no matter how much he's been fined after he recovered, after everyone finally started criticizing him, he is still a pretty blah defender, right? Ekholm and Bouchard, amazing. Great defensemen. But Ceci, Nurse, you got Desharnais, you got Broberg back there. It comes a point where you're like, yeah, this is not Forsling, and you've got Ekblad and Montour. You've got so many solid defensemen back there for the Florida Panthers, especially Gustav Forsling. And that's what I really want to center on. Forsling, Bobrovsky, Barkov, Tkachuk, such a two-way game, such an amazing shutdown way. If you look at the stats between what Barkov and Forsling do, the recent stats where it was like what it on the ice, like Matthew Tkachuk does when he's on the ice compared to the other team, it has been it's in a world of a difference for the Panthers. When they shut down other teams, it's unreal. No other team has really been able to quite to do that against the Edmonton Oilers. And the Dallas Stars were able to slow them down a little bit, but not enough. But even then, the Stars looked off. And the Edmonton Oilers, they have gotten, I don't want to say they've got lucky, but I think everyone would have agreed that the Pacific Division is the weakest one out of all of them. And at this point, I think they got a good matchup against the Dallas Stars, and now they're going in against a team that knows how to shut down other teams. They have a goaltender who will stop everything in his path, and then they have an offense that is willing to punish any mistakes and push the offense. And the Stars, they did it a couple times in that series where they looked like they couldn't be beat, and the Oilers were able to survive that. I don't know if they can do that against what the Panthers have been able to do in this playoff run. The Oilers, if they're going to win this series, they need to figure out an amazing defensive strategy. Because the offense is going to bring itself, right? McDavid, Leon, Hyman, Nugent Hopkins, Evander Kane, like they got some very good options. Henrique's been a nice piece. Like they have the pieces up there. The top six is incredible. They're going to find their goals. Holloway is great too. Like they're going to find their goals. They're going to get on the ice. They're going to be able to find that. The offense is not the issue. They don't have to worry about the offense coming along because they're not going to get shut out. But they need to figure out how to slow down the Panthers enough. Because we saw against like the Rangers, right? The Panthers, they give up those opportunities to those star players. And Edmonton has that ability to be able to punish them on those chances. But the question mark is, can they limit the Florida Panthers' chances as well? That is going to be the real debate to me, and it's going to be really tough because the Panthers can play all around the ice. They keep the puck in the zone. They can play off the rush. They can play in the zone. Like they do so many things right. They everywhere on the ice. No one would ever, like, I would not say, like, when it comes to a complete game where a team plays a complete 60 minutes on the ice, no one in their right mind would say that the Edmonton Oilers beat the Panthers in that capacity. When it comes to an overall game of defense, offense, and goaltending, the Panthers win. Special teams, sure, you could give that to the Edmonton Oilers. But for the Panthers have been a very good team at not getting penalties, not giving up penalties, and they've been able to play very good on 5-on-5. They have dominated every team they play against, and I feel like they are primed to do it again. But the Edmonton Oilers, I said that about them against the Dallas Stars. I thought the Stars were going to bully them into the ice, and I was completely wrong. The Edmonton Oilers are so good offensively, and they surprise me with their defense every single time. My only issue, and the only thing, is that I cannot bet against the Panthers. Because the Panthers last playoffs, they found a way to survive against the Bruins. They beat the Toronto Maple Leafs. They beat the Hurricanes, even though they were the way lesser team. And the only team to actually finally beat them was the best team in the world in the Vegas Golden Knights. I don't think anyone could possibly say the Edmonton Oilers are somehow the best team in the world. I do not think they're a better team. I think the only team that could beat the Panthers was a team that did their game better, and that's what the Vegas Golden Knights were. No one has been able to make other goaltenders that are the best in the world look like dummies than the Florida Panthers have. Florida can shut down other teams' amazing players. They've done that against the Lightning, who had Kucherov, who was shut down by Kachuk and Barkov. They have Stamkos and Point. They have so many high-scoring guys. Didn't matter. Did nothing. Against the Bruins, Marchand, Coyle, all these great, Pasternak had nothing against the Florida Panthers. Couldn't get anything going. The Rangers, they were bad from the beginning, I gotta say, but they gave nothing to the Panarin. They gave nothing to these guys. And I know Panarin and, Panarin, Zibanejad, Fox, Kreider is a different world when it comes to Hyman, McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, Bouchard, but the Panthers have shown they can shut down other teams, they can slow them down, they can bully them in the corners. We've seen the weaknesses showing in the Oilers game. To me, the Florida Panthers, they have every right to believe in themselves. They have the forecheck is better, the cycling is better, everything in the offensive zone. They play a better complete game. And I don't want to just give it to the Oilers. The stupid thing that people say where it's like, oh, they're just one line, they're just two guys on the ice. But sometimes this playoffs, it has been that. Look at that final game against the Dallas Stars. That was McDavid and Draisaitl, right? Or Hyman. Regardless, it was like that first goal was Connor McDavid at his finest, right? I don't think a team like the Florida Panthers really give up that kind of goal. The Panthers have all the shutdown in the world. They have every single defensive aspect put down and bat. They can figure out ways to beat the best goaltenders and some of the weaker defenses. They have figured it out. This is the weakest team they've played up against. And the only way I see the Edmonton Oilers winning this one is if the offense goes unreal. and I don't think they have a real good chance of doing that against the Florida Panthers. So to me, my verdict in this series is I think this is going to be another version of what happened a few years ago, the last time it was Florida versus a Canadian team. And I truly think that this is going to be a series that goes to Florida in 5. I don't think the Florida Panthers are going to give anything up to the Edmonton Oilers. We've seen that Ottinger, when he was able to play good and the defense of the Dallas Stars was able to actually play a sufficient game, that they can slow down McDavid and Leon Draisaitl and Hyman, and Ottinger can steal games. But the Dallas Stars had a weird weakness, and they've done it the last 2 years in the Western Conference Finals. The Florida Panthers, they don't seem to do that. And to me, Florida has been the team of destiny from the beginning. I think everyone was touting the New York Rangers, but that was just to patent the legend of the Florida Panthers. Last year, being able to do the story of the Edmonton Oilers this year, where they were the team that was out of the playoffs, but then it's a different story here, but they were able to barely squeak in. They get in, and then they beat the best President's Trophy winner ever. They beat them. Then they beat the ever-loved Maple Leafs, and then they beat the Hurricanes, that struggling team, and then they lose, of course, the Vegas Golden Knights. Now that same team, after having an amazing season and figuring out all the pieces of defense, they go on. They beat their rival finally in the Tampa Bay Lightning. They beat, once again, the Boston Bruins, and then they lay out the New York Rangers, the other supposed team of destiny. The Edmonton Oilers, everyone seems to be stacked for them because the media is all ready for them and they're Canadian giants that they are. Well, I think this is the true story of the Florida Panthers to shine through. And the Sunrise team is going to see the sunshine. And the Stanley Cup is going to be brought home to Florida. And that is all I got to say. So if you've made it this far, please, I am begging you, please subscribe. And of course, tell me below, what do you think's going to happen? Of course, obviously, I don't need to tell you that, but I'm sure you're going to do it anyways. But anyways, thank you for watching this. Tell me how stupid I am for what I think down below. And until next time, too sweet, have an amazing day. And ta-ta for now. And let's go, Cats!